Good morning, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hasan Zeki Alp. I'm a retired engineer, electrical and electronic engineer. After my retirement years, I decided to learn modern programming languages, and in less than a year, I have learned a dozen of programming languages. And after a while, I decided to share this knowledge and decided to prepare lectures, lessons, courses on YouTube. And so far I have completed a few of them. In this video you will be watching HTML lessons. Actually I have prepared so far 3 lessons for HTML programming, and today I will go on with our lessons. And by the way, I'd like to talk about the development environment. I'm using Yaldex Corporation's first JavaScript editor Pro version 5.0. This is a paid version. So far so good. I'm very well satisfied this utility, and without wasting our time, I'd like to start our lesson. And okay, before that, I'd like to give some information about this utility. In fact, okay, this is a utility that can be used for editing more than one languages, that just we can say languages. And in this structure I have prepared some lessons for you, and by means of this menu structure you can prefer which browser you can choose for running the program snippet. And when you run this, there will be a picture here. Let me show this, and you will be seeing this in our next desktop cache. And we'll go one by one with our other snippets. Okay, after this, welcome. I can start with our sophisticated program. Okay, in our lesson 4, we start with 43. I'd like to show you HTML tables here. Just as you can remember, this is the title part. Okay, in the body part we can define anything. For example, I here define a table here, including 2 rows, 1 row and 2 row, and 2 columns, column 1 and column 2. So just for definition I use table td, okay, /td, and for table border I choose 1. It's the initial type of table border, and after definition I close the table definition and body part. Okay, let me show you when I run this. Okay, just I said, 2 rows will be printed out on the screen, row 1 and row 2, and 2 columns will be printed out like this, column 1 and column 2. And just when we change this to, for example, 4, okay, when I run this, the border type, borderline will be much more bold type. This is the table header. Okay, let me show you another example. This is, I have to close this one, and in our next snippet I here define a table header and a table border. Okay, table border will include 1, 2, three entries. So just we can show this. This is the label. This is the name and salary. This is gonna be the first. Okay. This is Hasan Alp and the value for that. Okay. And this is the next row. Zeki Alp and value for that. So just when we look at the output, three rows will be printed out. Okay, with table headers. Okay, 1 like this, 2 and 3 will be printed. And in column manner, there will be 2 columns. Name and salary as name and salary. Okay, within the blocks, row blocks, name and salary, and the corresponding values for that will be printed out on the screen. Okay, let me show you another example here. Okay, I'd like to show you cell padding with this example. Okay, I here defined 3 rows. Okay, and this is the required keywords for cell padding will be 20 and cell spacing will be 5. So I'd like to show you the impact of these keywords. Okay, like this, borderline 10 corresponding to this bold type, and cell padding 20. Okay, this is the space. Okay, cell spacing 5. Okay, this is the distance. Okay, we can have a look. Name and salary. Okay, this will be the bold type, and this is Hasan Alp, the next row, and Zeki Alp, the other last row. And I here close the table definition, starting from here. Okay, closing from here, table / table. And of course, body part will be closed by means of /body. You can change header part, HTML table, cell padding I preferred. You can say other, whatever you wish. Okay, I have to close this one and demo 6. Here I gave an example of CellPadding and RowSpan concepts. Before that, I have to mention one thing. Here I define 3 columns. Okay, column 1, column 2, column 3, and here I define row 1 corresponding to cell 2, and row 2 corresponding to cell 2 once again. Row span will be 2, and this is going to be for row 1, cell 1. Okay, let's show it. When we have a look, this is the table, this is the title. Okay, and here I define column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay, with /th. Okay, and here there is another row. Okay, have a look here. Row span will be 2. Okay, that means it's gonna be going 2 step at a time for cell, and row 1, cell 1 for this one, and row 1 cell 2 this one, and row 1 cell 3 for the second one. And this corresponds to the others this way. Okay, starting from this one, row 2 cell 2 and row 2 cell 3, and at the end column span is 3 of them. That means it's gonna occupy 3 columns width, and row 3 cell 1 will be its title. Okay, let's go with another one. Okay, this is rather more simple one. In this example, I define 2 rows, row 1 and row 2, and within the row block, within the block, I define a column so as to conjugate to the first one. Column 2 will be like that, and at the next row, at the row 2, once again column first and column second will be defined. Okay, how about HTML table background? We could prefer to place colors like in our example. I prefer here color green. The frame will be border color will be green. Here you see the same structure. Okay, column 1, column 2, column 3. Let me a little bit. Okay, and at the second, once again, row 1, cell 1. Okay, and row 1, cell 1 will be divided into 2 parts. Row 1, cell 3. Okay, cell 3, and at the next block, row 2, cell 2. Okay, row 2, cell 3, and at the last column span will be 3. Okay, 3 of them. Row 3, cell 1. Okay. According to your demand, your need, you can increase columns, number of columns here. For example, it may contain 6, 10, and you could rearrange this structure according to your demand. And this is an example for this one. Okay, table width and height. We can arrange table width and height here. I prefer 400 for width pixel and 150 for height. Just to show you, I'd like to show you like this. Width means here, and row height here, starting from here up to down to here. Okay, 150. This is 400. This is 200. Okay, this is 150. Rectangle. Okay, just have a look. We have two blocks, row 1 block and row 2 block. Within row 1 block, we define by means of TD tags column 1 and column 2. And in the next block, row 2 block, I define row 2 column 1 and column 2. And just by changing these values, we can rearrange the configuration of our table block. For example, just I can say 600. Like this. Okay, it's became larger. Let me restore it the initial value. Okay. Okay, here we'd like to give a table name in here, table caption here, and also we could define border line, and we can define how percent of width would it be, and this is going to be the caption, and this is going to be the structure of our table. It's going to have two rows, row 1 and row 2, and let me show you like this. At the first row 1, at the first row 1, column 1 and column 2 will be defined, will be displayed, and at this next block, column 1 and column 2 will be shown. Okay, just we can change here and whatever write what we need. For example, name is name is Hasan Zekai. Just this can give an idea about that. Like this, you can change this contents of this, like this here, and corresponding to this field, and this one also you can change, and you can give a name for your table. This is the table caption. This is my table name. This is my table name, like this. I think it's clear enough. So we go on with our next lesson. Okay, here I'd like to show you unordered lists, HTML unordered list. Here just I give some vegetable names here, beetroot, ginger, potato, and radish, and it's limited by line index li /li, and starting with UL stands for unordered list, and at the end of your block /UL you have to use, and the name of the title of this list, HTML unordered list, will be, we do not forget to /body, and all this is done within the body. Okay, when we choose unordered list, there will not be any numbers or figures, just bullets it's going to be used. That stands for line index, and we could increase as much as we prefer, and unordered list will be the type header for this file. We could also change this HTML vegetables list, for example. So there will be vegetable list. Its header will be its title. Okay, let's go with our another example. Here I prefer to use it square. The bullet shapes will be square because here I define its type. Unordered list type will be a square. So bullet shape is changed to square type. The other part will be the same, line index and unordered list at the end of unordered list, and body part. And I'd like to show you another here. Okay, this time it's the same. This time it's gonna be oval elliptic type. Actually, not elliptic, just circle, filled circle. This is gonna be defined unordered list type equals to disk type, and the other part will be the same. Okay. This time it's not a disk, it's a circle, so inside of the circle is blank. It may enrich your page view by using this kind of structure. Type equals to circle. And how about our next lesson? Let me close this one. Okay, this time ordered list, I would like to give an example. Ordered list means there will be a numbering system like this. Beetroot, ginger, potato and radish will be sorted, will be ordered in numerical manner against to unordered list. This is order list. Okay. Okay, you guys, today is enough for lesson 4. In our next lesson, we'll go on with our lessons. Thank you very much for your spending time with me. I hope you enjoy and find this course easy and useful. Thanks for your attention, and I wish you a nice afternoon. And bye bye.